Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the South Fork. As we gather together this morning, may we learn to recognize and affirm the pieces of possibility, the bits of good we bring. May we encourage rather than control, love rather than possess, enable rather than envy, allowing our individual gifts to weave a patchwork of peace, the soft, deep blue of sensitivity and understanding, the red energy of creativity, the white heat of convictions, the risky, fragile green of new growth, the golden flashes of gratitude, the warm rose of love. Each of us is indispensable if we are to minister to a broken and wounded world. Together in our gathered diversity, we form the whole. So be it. Every week we remind each other that whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, whatever your name for the sacred, you are welcome to bring your full self here. I am the Reverend Kimberly Q Johnson. Our musician this morning is Abby Fleming. Our tech hosts are Carl Wittenberg and Monica Sasada. If you are joining us online, please know that you have access to closed captioning, if that is helpful to you. If you are joining us here in the meeting house, we have hearing-assisted devices, if that is helpful to you. However, and wherever you are joining us, this is a moment to silence your devices, to settle in to this hour, free from distractions. We have a few announcements. The first is a grand and abundant thank you to our arts and aesthetics team, Anastasia, Monica, and Christina, for the beautiful transformation of our meeting house that you have been witnessing all spring that I got to experience in my office, which has been the latest recipient of their talent and their time. So when you come and visit me in my office, you will find that it is so much more spacious and functional, and yes, so much more beautiful. We can do a woohoo. I also want to note, and by way of note, remind us, so our congregation was once again targeted by scammers seeking to take advantage of your generosity. Many of you received an email last week or over the weekend, and if you engaged with them, then they would have asked you for gift cards or to send cash. This is a reminder that I will never ask you over email or text to send gift cards or cash. And I will also use my uucsf.org email address, not a Gmail address. That email is more secure, it's less able for them to spoof, and so I'll encourage you all to use that address and not my Gmail address, which makes it just a little bit more clear when things are coming officially from the congregation versus someone creating an email to look like it is coming from the congregation. It's also a good reminder for us to be careful whenever we are sending out personal information, either ours or someone else's. If there's a way to do it not digitally, then we probably want to do it not digitally. If there's a way to do it securely, try and make sure that we're doing it securely. And when it's possible, though it goes against a current trend of expediency and efficiency, it might just be better, certainly more relational, to pick up the phone and maybe do less of our relationship by email and text and more of our relationship by phone and voice. That said, do we have any visitors who are joining us this morning who would like to introduce yourselves? Hello, visitor, friend of Christina, who's staying in Sag Harbor this summer. Welcome. If you are joining us here at the Meeting House or online, we hope you will sign our guest book. It's a way for us to be in touch with you, to let you know more about what's happening here at the Meeting House, and also to maybe learn a little bit more about you and how we might make this a place where you could find home. Let's take a moment now, since we're in a welcoming mood, to extend a warm and exuberant welcome to someone who you haven't yet greeted this morning, here in the Meeting House and online in the chat. I had intended to say in the announcements, but forgot, but I want to reassure you that I am not like listening to music or taking cues in the most obtrusive of ways. And in the interest of being true and honest about our lives, and especially women's lives, this is a fan because I am frequently having hot flushes, and this will just be a part of my summer with you, and honestly, probably a part of my whole year with you. Let's light our chalice now. The unison words are in your order of service, and Jim will help us by actually lighting it. With these words from Bruce Southworth, a communion of heart and soul, for the gift of this day and for our community of spiritual nurture and compassion, we give thanks. We light this chalice as a symbol of our faith. May our many sparks meet and merge in communion of heart and soul. And let's sing together our first hymn. It's number 145 in your gray hymnal, rising as you feel able or willing, as tranquil streams. So our first message today is a story, and though there's none of us, I think, in the room under 18, we're still going to engage in storytelling because we take in information in all kinds of ways. And so I will read it, and John will help us as a page turner. But our story is Dog versus Cat by Chris Gall. One day, a man named Mr. Button went to the animal shelter to pick out a friendly-looking dog. Then he brought the dog home. Across town, on the same day, Mrs. Button went to a pet store and bought a smart-looking cat. Then she brought the cat home. This is the cat. However, the Buttons had only one room for their pets. They would have to share. This could be a dangerous situation, but dog and cat wanted to be very grown up, and so dog and cat moved in together. Dog quickly arranged one side of the room. Cat did the same on the other side of the room. Dog gave Cat a warm greeting, but Cat did not like showers. Cat offered Dog a mouth warming. Dog showed Cat how to chase a tail. You've got to be kidding. Cat showed Dog how to curl up with a good book. Boring. Their habits were very different. Dog liked to keep in touch with dog friends all day long. Cat liked to play games all night long. There were many problems. Dog was always sniffing everything. Cat would claw anything that moved. And then there was the litter box issue. That was when they decided to mark their territories. But neither dog nor cat was satisfied. One of them had to go. Cat knew that dog had a very good nose. So Cat made sure to maintain horrible garlic breath. Dog rubbed some party balloons on the rug and stuck them to Cat. Cat popped them with sharp claws, nearly giving dog a heart attack. Cat filled dog's water bottle with hairballs. Dog poured the water over Cat's head during nap time. It was too much to take. Each pet was determined to get the other in trouble. Cat used a silent dog whistle to make dog howl in the middle of the night. Dog spread catnip over Mrs. Button's nice pillows so that Cat would go crazy. That was when the Buttons gave dog and cat a timeout. Since they could agree on nothing else, dog and cat decided to build a wall to separate their room. After they were finished, the room became very quiet. Too quiet. Soon, dog began to remember all the good times they had together. Cat began to remember all the fun times, too. They began to miss each other. So Cat sent over a silent peace offering, and Dog replied. They each set out to solve the problem in different ways. Then one day, Cat and Dog heard a strange howling outside their door. Another pet? They could not believe that Mr. and Mrs. Button would wish for a pet any better than dog or cat. What could it be? Dog hoped it wasn't a porcupine. Cat hoped it wasn't an elephant. Both dog and cat were afraid. They agreed that something had to be done to keep this creature out of their room. The cat drew up plans to block the door. Dog tore down the walls and used the pieces. But they forgot that the door opened into the hallway. That's when Mr. and Mrs. Button brought in a cage. It was the most terrifying creature dog and cat had ever seen. And it had moved into their bedroom. The creature never stopped screeching. It certainly couldn't use a litter box. Ugh, the smell. So dog and cat decided to move out. But they knew of only one available room. Cat drew up the plans. The circumference equals the sum of the adjacent sides. Dog hammered nails and lifted the heavy things. And when they were done, they shared a pitcher of cold lemonade. The end. May your roots grow deep. May your wings spread far. May you find the world to be a wonderful place where partnership abounds. And may you leave it better for those who follow. Having no children to usher into a play area, let's still join together a little transition by singing hymn 123 in your gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. As that note settles into you, I invite you into this time of meditation to breathe deeply. And again, noticing how your breath moves in your body, but not forcing anything. And breathe again. It is so rare that we create times of stillness. We can count each week on this moment of stillness, releasing any tension, these words from Eric Williams. What does it mean to bless? To bless does not mean saying magical words, changing the mind of God, or altering the course of the cosmos. To bless does not mean to bless does mean reminding each other of our gifts, remembering the wisdom that is within us, and recalling our common purpose. The choices we make and the work we do, and how we bless each other and the world. May the words we say and the songs we sing name the wholeness of who we are and still yet seek. Let us hold this time in silence. We set aside this time each week to share in community our great joys, sorrows, and concerns for ourselves, our community, and the world. If you have a joy or sorrow or concern to share, please do come up to the microphone. Joining us online, please remember to unmute yourself. And if you're joining us by phone, you can do that by pressing *6. We remember also to extend our care and our attention to the world beyond our community, to people suffering in Ukraine, to the continued gang violence in Haiti, civil war in Sudan, mass starvation in Gaza. May we pray for peace across the world. May we pray for a day when the abundance that we enjoy is shared with everyone. May it be so. We take 2 collections here at the meeting house and using the links online. One that will circulate is for the work here in our meeting house, and one that remains in the back of the room is for our Helping Hand Fund, which we use to support our neighbors outside of our congregation. A portion of that goes to our minister's discretionary fund, which helps individuals in immediate need. During this time, you are also invited to come and light a silent candle of your own. However you give, your gifts will be gratefully received. Thank you. So I bet most of us have a cat or a dog story. I've heard a couple of them. This is not an invitation right yet, but I have already heard a couple of them today. Growing up, we always, in a house full of children, had at least a dog and a cat at the same time. And we often had more than one, despite the conventional wisdom that dogs and cats don't get along. This idea, right, of fighting like cats and dogs. Let me ask you, would you say that you are a cat person or a dog person? We have both. Cat people? Dog people? Wow, many more dog people. Or both. Many 2 hands. The question that comes up when I think about, am I a cat person, am I a dog person? Are you asking, do I love cats or dogs? Are you asking if I'm like a cat or a dog? Well, I was going to ask you, we could go on and on. I'm sure we have our own ideas, right, about what are the differences between cats and dogs. Cats are better at cleaning up than dogs. What else?
They're good at cuddling.
Somebody, one of them, who's good at cuddling? Cats are good at cuddling. That's so interesting because I would have said that dogs are better at cuddling.
One's bigger and the other one's smaller.
Differences.
Yep.
Cats are more independent. Dogs are loyal. Whether and how we engage with cats has become a political issue. Some of us are cat ladies, childless or not. Dogs get us outside, engaging other people and in nature. And they are not mass murderers. Dogs are made for our pleasure, whereas we are made for cat pleasure. I imagined if I gave you a minute, you would come up with these. At its base, right, dogs are pack animals.
Dogs need exercise, so they give you exercise.
Yeah.
Dogs are getting us out. Cats, maybe not so much. Here are a couple of what I think might capsulize some of the differences, right? So dogs come when they are called. Cats take a message and get back to you later. Dogs believe every stranger is a friend they haven't met yet. Cats await a proper invitation. Dogs believe they are human. Cats believe they are God. There are more and more and more. And joking aside, this metaphor of cats and dogs, their similarities and also their differences, and particularly thinking about those of you who raised your hands for both. This metaphor of cats and dogs and their differences and this conflict is a way into thinking about how we live Unitarian Universalism in the world. There is this affirmation, even as we embrace values of justice and equity and transformation and pluralism and interdependence and generosity, there is still this affirmation of the inherent worth and dignity of every single person. Not as an abstract idea, this thing that we say, but as a real lived experience, a commitment to actually look for and affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, just as we are, not as we would be if we squeeze ourselves to fit into an idea of how we're supposed to be. It is this recognition that difference is not a problem to be solved, not a problem to be solved, but an expression of the divine spark that lives in all of us. And some of it is obvious, right? We can look and see differences. We can see differences of race or age or gender. These we think about all the time. Maybe some less obvious ones of class that shape us and how we are in the world. class now, and class that we grew up with. And these get to some of the deeper differences underneath how we communicate with each other, what our needs are, how we approach life, how we approach challenges, how we approach living in community. We affirm inherent worth and dignity. We endeavor to embrace difference. And I know that living in real life with differences can be challenging. We come to a place where we can be with people like us, where we can find comfort and sanctuary. We want to be with like-minded people. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. We are uncomfortable when we encounter difference. Abstract, ideological idea aside, we are uncomfortable when we encounter difference. Different needs, different dress. We find conflict. We don't come to a place like this to fight. Here's the thing, though. While difference can lead to conflict, it can also open up for us this opportunity for growth. When we don't run away from difference, but we make the effort, and it is sometimes an effort, right, to accept difference, to go even further than accepting difference, to embracing difference. When we approach it with non-judgment, curiosity, patience, and openness, and appreciation of what is not like us, it grows our capacity for compassion, our capacity for love that we say is at the center of our faith. Cats and dogs is a fun metaphor. But if you look at them, if we think about our story, a cat encountering a dog with all of its exuberance and all of its affection might feel smothered. A dog wanting to be greeted by a cat might feel rejected. Both of them will develop a story about the other. This happens with us all the time. These differences between introversion and extroversion. More challenging between individualism and collectivism. Directness, subtlety. Expressiveness and reservedness. We could go on and on. There are all kinds of differences in how we relate to each other. And if we are not careful, when we are not careful, we can go away from our interactions, our relationships, with stories about the other person. Each of us, stories about the other person. What happens when we take a step back and lead with curiosity and patience and openness? Our Unitarian Universalist communities are big tents with a wide range of identities. Different ages, different neurotypes, different beliefs about the world, different beliefs about politics, even though we try to pretend that it's not true. When we are embracing difference, it asks us to take a step back, examine our assumptions, see beyond our comfort, widen our welcome, to really, really create the beloved community that we talk about in our congregation, in this community, in the whole wide world. We don't often talk about the whole wide world here, not lately, because the whole wide world is a mess. And it is hard to figure out what is ours to do. And so I want to suggest that we take a step back. Pull back and think about how we are creating, cultivating beloved community in this community, in Sag Harbor, Bridgehampton, East End. What does it mean to listen to our neighbors with curiosity and openness and appreciation for their different ways of being and also for their different opinions? What does it mean to create that beloved community right here in this congregation where we are not all the same? In thinking about this service, I rewatched that movie, The Truth About Cats and Dogs. It does not really hold up over the 20 years, and it's not at all about cats or dogs. The main theme, though, of that movie is that there are these characters trying desperately to be someone that they are not. The one who's pretty wishes that she were more smart. The one who's smart wishes that she were more pretty. Each of them believing that they, whoever they are, would appreciate them more, would love them better if they were different. The truth is, it takes all kinds. It takes all of our gifts and all of our quirks. All of our gifts and all of our quirks. And we don't actually have to agree about what's good. We do, though, want to. My charge for you is to approach this week, this month, this summer with an openness to difference. To notice the diversity, first in yourself. What are the things, the parts about you that you don't pay attention to because you believe that you would fit in better if they were tamped down? Where are the parts of you that you ignore or hide because you don't think that they would be welcome? And from there, can we extend it even further? Notice around you the gifts of others. Notice, and then accept. And then, challenge of challenges, celebrate the gifts and especially the differences in others. Does it solve war around the globe? Not by itself. But does it start to create the peace and love and relationship that might? I think I want to give it a try. I hope that you will also. Let's sing together one last time from your gray hymnal, number 181. rising as you feel willing or able, no matter if you live far or near. These are nice words. Let's pay attention to them. Abby's going to play it through once. We don't sing this often. And then we'll join in. Next week, we want to hear from you. We want to hear your story about a piece of art, either visual or music or literary, a person. We want to hear what has moved you. And so come prepared for next week with your story of what has moved you. We hope you'll join us today at these very tables for our annual congregational-wide picnic, prepared lovingly by our Care and Connection team. That is Pam and John and Carol and Jim and Luca, who is not with us today, and Jasmine. We have done this in all truth, not all truth, just to celebrate your birthday. It is a delight that we get to celebrate the life of this congregation as we celebrate the life of one of our newest members or friends. For now, we close with words from Eric Williams. The world is too beautiful to be praised by only one voice. May you have the courage to sing your part. The world is too broken to be healed by only one set of hands. May you have the courage to use your gifts. We all go now in peace. This beautiful postlude. Oh, I did almost forget that we extinguish our chalice together with the unison words in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, wisdom, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now please remain seated for this postlude from Abby.